you're new here, my name is Dina, and we've recently moved to West Virginia where we are building a house and creating a homestead. So I am taking a break from building the house today because we have all these cucumbers and peppers and things from the garden and we need to process them, and I have a tiny refrigerator here in the camper we're living in, so we have to get rid of the stuff. I'm going to start with, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 4, 7. I can't count today either. I have 7 cucumbers I'm going to use. 2.5 peppers, because I already had them. Now my red peppers are not red yet, but I do have these banana peppers, so I'm going to use 2.5 of them. These are not my onions. My onions are not done yet, so I have 4 onions. And I'm just going to use this minced garlic that I have because I can never grow garlic. If you guys can and have a trick, let me know. All right, so let's get started. Okay, I added 2 more cucumbers to my mix here. I peeled them like this, so I have some skin, some not. I was going to say slice, but it's not the word that you're supposed to use. And this is my chicken bucket. So all my scraps go in here. My chickens love it. When they see a coffee can, they come running. Now what I'm going to do with this is I have my pot here and it has water in it, and I have canning salt in there, and I am going to soak these for 2 hours minimal in my canning salt. It's going to help just to keep everything crisp. And once I get them in the pot and I cook it down, I am going to kind of mush it with my hand blender. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of cut it into, I'll show you, like as you would like a salad, I guess. But I'm going to just kind of cut it into like little, this is Pat coming in and jumping around and making everything. But I'm going to do it like chunks like that for now. And then I will, like I said, I have a little chopper, but I don't want to use that. It would just take me forever. It would be easier to do this, and then when it's in the pot, use my little hand thing and emulsify it that way. So I'm going to do that with all these cucumbers, and this way it could be soaking, and then we will move on to the rest of our vegetables. All right, this is the last of our cucumbers, and then we are going to work on our peppers next. Oh, my thing is getting full here already. We'll now start working on our peppers, and we are going to do those the same, just like, you know, strips and little pieces, little chunks, diced, I guess you could say, until we're ready to emulsify everything. We'll add it to our pot. All right, green peppers in the pot. And then for these, let me see how many seeds we have in here. Now these, I believe, are sweet banana peppers, so they should not be hot. But when I had tasted one, it wasn't hot, but not like a jalapeno pepper, which I do have. I'm not adding in here, but it was kind of I mean, it had a little spice to it, let's say, but it wasn't hot. It wasn't really hot at all. So I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know how that works, what makes it hot. I don't normally eat or grow banana peppers. My first time growing banana peppers, so I'm not sure, but I do know it was a little bit, it had just like, you know, it wasn't like a green pepper, so maybe they aren't necessarily sweet peppers. I don't know, but let's cut these up and get them in the pot. All our yellows in the pot. Now I'm not saving seeds right now, but I will save seeds towards the end of the season for all my peppers and, you know, cucumbers and things like that. I see what kind of seeds I have and what I need, and then I'll go from there. Actually, take these out. I don't put onions in with it for the chickens. It's not great for them and they don't love it, so they just go in the trash. So it's the only thing that I do not put in with the chickens. For the most part, they eat mostly everything. And then whatever they don't, I just kind of clean up the run and whatever's left over, and it goes into my compost pile. I have a separate compost pile. All right, so if I could ever get the skin off. The onions, same thing. We're just going to dice them and then stick them in the pot. I'll speed this up and get our onions together for you. Onions done. My eyes are watering. Okay, so, oh man, my eyes are really watering. So you could see what our pot looks like from here. And we're just going to let this sit. I'll put a lid on it. We'll let this sit and soak, and we'll come back for it. Okay, guys, I had this sitting overnight. You could do 2 hours to overnight, and then you are going to drain the liquid out, the salt water, and rinse it. And now we're going to prep it. Okay, guys, now we are going to chop our vegetables up. So, I told you guys I was going to use my hand mixer, but my neighbor had lent me hers, so we're going to see how this works. We don't want it to be mush, you know, so you don't want it too blended, but you obviously don't want these big chunks in. So we want to make sure that we get, you know, relish looking. So a few chunks, but more blended. So let's see how this turns out. Now after we do that, we're going to put it in our pot here. Perfect. All right, this is actually perfect. I'm pretty impressed with it. So I'm sure this comes out. Let me see. Let's try and do it without breaking it. We already told her, we're like, I'll buy you a new one if I break it. Okay, but look at that. That is perfect. That is perfect little relish looking stuff. All right. So this is what we're going to do. This is nice. I'll do this a couple more times and I'll bring you back with me as soon as I have it all done and ready and in our pot. All right. We had gotten our last in our pot. Let's go put it on the stove and add our other ingredients. Okay. So what we're going to add, let me lift you guys up a little bit so you can see me. What we're going to add is a little bit of garlic. And let me just use my fork here. I don't know, I'm just going to throw some in. Now, I am going to measure for you guys. I usually do not measure, but I'm going to measure to show you. So we're going to use 2 cups of vinegar. And we are going to use a half a teaspoon of turmeric. Look at me with my teaspoons. We're going to use 1 tablespoon each of celery seed and mustard seed. All right, so we'll throw that in. And the mustard seed. Now, it also calls for sugar. Now, you know I don't like to use sugar, but it is a sweet relish. So it calls for like 2-3 cups of sugar. We are not going to use that. I'm just going to use, I keep this in the camper just in case you ever needed sugar. This is what I have left. It's a half a cup. So I don't even want to put the whole half a cup in there, honestly. So I'm going to do that. We'll do like a quarter cup because I really don't. Now I'm regretting it. I'm going to take some of the sugar out. I'm thinking we don't need it. We don't need it. I'm scooping it out. I'm doing it. But use your preference, and if you want sugar in yours to make a sweet relish, do that. I'm going to take some out. Okay. That's that. Let's stir this up and cook it. All right. Mix it all in, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm just mixing my my spices and stuff in there. All right, here we go. We'll show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like now. So you can kind of see it is, it does have some liquid in it. And we are going to cook it down until it is thicker. Let's see how long that takes. Okay guys, now it did take 20 minutes for this to heat up and boil out. We filled our jars. We are going to wipe the rims and clean it up a little bit. And then I'm just going to use my little plastic knife here just to get the air bubbles out and get it down a little bit so it can settle. And we are going to seal these up and get them ready to put into our pot. Okay, so how I'm going to use it is I have this, it has the holes in it, and this will go in this pot, and then this way the cans don't touch the bottom. They're in here, and I can put a lid on this, and 4 jars fit in that one, so I can only do 4 at a time. I have 6 of them ready to go. We'll see how many it takes. I'm thinking it might only be 4 or 5. I'm not sure, but let's fill these jars and find out. Okay, we have our jars in here, and we are going to let these water bath can for 10 minutes. Your time doesn't start until this boils. When this boils, 10 minutes, and then we'll take it out. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare my other jars because I do have some relish left, so we'll have to do 2 batches. Now, honestly, it's not the best to can inside. I have all my fans on and windows open, but it's not the best to can inside the camper. I do have this outside stove. It is not hooked up yet. It is not ready. And for the next time or anything else we're going to do, I am going to do it outside. I am not going to do it in here. This is only 10 minutes, so it should be okay. It's only the water bath can, but I will use my outside stove until I get my house ready and I can do it there. But 10 minutes, meet you back. All right, guys, we are finished. 10 minutes. I have my 4 jars. They're already popped and kind of sealed, the front 2 anyway. What I did decide to do, instead of canning the other 2 jars, it did make 6 jars. I'm just going to leave these and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. I did do a little taste test and it is not really sweet. It is not a sweet relish. So I do suggest you using more sugar if you are expecting a sweet relish. So, I mean, it's fine for me because I don't want it sweet, but don't use, that little bit of sugar if you do want a sweet relish, because it is not sweet at all. And I did find, and maybe it was just that little piece I took, I felt that it tasted a little too mustardy for my taste. So I think next time I would reduce the amount of mustard seed that I put in, maybe like maybe a half a tablespoon instead of a full tablespoon is what I would do. But other than that, pretty good. We got our relish, and I'm sure there's more to come. I think next I'll do pickles because I do have pickle juice frozen. So I'll just throw some pickle or some cucumbers in there and let it sit for a few weeks, and then I'll have pickles. All right. See you on the next adventure. Happy canning.